Hey everyone, I'll be covering all of the Nintendo Switch's games announced for the 4th week of September, so let's get started. The prequel to 2015's Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, was randomly shadow dropped in the eShop this past week, dropping you straight into the cockpit as Juno, an outlaw and smuggler ready to settle down until her past bring her back to the life. Tackle a single player campaign however you want with an array of options to either make money, cause mayhem, or get down and dirty with the space outlaws. Falcon Age is a first-person single-player action-adventure game where you fight to take your life back against the robot colonies and reclaim your culture. Build a bond with your bird companion by naming it, petting it, feeding it, teaching it, and dressing them up. Reclaim your land across a varied world that originally released on PlayStation VR, but is now being fully reworked for traditional controls. Shadow dropped in the eShop, Kirby Fighters 2 is an action-packed fighter offering Kirby 17 of his most iconic copy abilities and a few guest characters thrown in for good measure. Tackle a story mode or play versus others locally or online with up to 4-player mayhem. Tons of iconic Kirby stages are also being included. After its original reveal late last year, 505 Games has now confirmed that Ghost Runner is releasing on Switch October 27th. This hardcore first-person slasher is all about lightning-fast actions set to a grim cyberpunk megastructure with one-hit kill mechanics making every encounter intense, focusing on mobility to quickly engage with enemies from all sorts of angles. Forever Entertainment is ready to release Green Hell on Switch next month. This realistic survival sim lets you use techniques like camp building, setting animal traps, and food sourcing to survive in a dastardly jungle environment, emphasizing on the psychological aspects of survival in extreme conditions in ruthless situations, while being isolated and alone while fighting to survive another day. Kitaria Fables is a delightful fusion of action RPG and the best farming sims from the perspective of a cat. Enter a cute world of Canaderia to take on the requests from your animal neighbors as they face the rising tide of darkness. Explore dungeons in real-time combat or sit on your farm to harvest your crops as best as possible. The choice is yours. Nippon Ichi finally confirmed that Poison Control is set to release next year. Spirits are being trapped in poisonous manifestations of their despair, and it's on you to purify them in an expansive single-player story. Unlock new weapons and poison purifying tactics as you embark on enigmatic encounters to save these souls and yourself. Idea Factory revealed that Azure Lane Crosswave is getting a Western release in 2021. This 3D action shooter has been a smash hit in Asia as historical battleships come to life in the form of anime ladies. Several new characters and even game modes are being introduced exclusively for Switch. Including the top leagues and nations from around the globe, Football Manager Touch 21 has over 500,000 active real-life players while presenting tactical presets satisfying for sim games. Train your squad through the week, and on match day let the fruits of your labor play out across a bevy of game modes and game options. Focus on an expanding variety of industries across many range of products in Little Big Workshop. Problem solve by fixing machines, setting up quotas, and even micromanaging your team. Organize all the steps of production as your factory grows to unlock even more options in a fully simulated day and night cycle. Take care of your workers to keep them happy and enhance your productivity. Inti Creates announced that they will be remastering their original Galgun game that never left Japan and calling it Galgun Returns, set to release in Japan January 28th. Adding brand new scenes for each heroine, all the previously available DLC, full voice acting is included this time around, a completely new gallery mode, and tons of quality of life changes for both the story and the gameplay. Curse of Life is a first-person puzzle adventure game where you complete several rituals meant to scar you both physically and psychologically, set in a dark and mysterious ancient Egyptian time where your life has been cursed and you can't die. Your consciousness simply passes onto a new body and keeps going. How will you manage to rid of this eternal curse, or will you finally succumb to it? The creators of Mutant Mudds announced that Petadachi is coming to the Switch, where your goal is simple: raise adorable pets, explore the land, play with them and take care of them, and learn to love them. Learn their unique likes and dislikes as you go fishing, play minigames, shop for them, and even send them foraging. Confront your anxiety in the single-player survival horror game Make a Killing. Cole is traveling on hallowed grounds in hopes of saving his brother. Tasked with demon hunting to make some money on the side, the mass murderer King Ira has sent some of his fiendish creatures to put a stop to Cole in his attempt to save his dying brother. Ana Raposa is a journalist who is tasked with investigating the forest fires of her village in Macau. During the investigation, the culprit catches wind of her investigation and begins to target her in the action puzzler Camo. Inspired by Sega classics like Outrun and Power Drift, Victory Heat Rally is a lovely pixel-based racer with pumping soundtrack reminiscent of 80s classics. So far, Sky Double Palm Games is confirming that it's a 2021 release, but no further details were shared. Optimized exclusively for the Switch, Pure Pool offers revamped visuals, new game modes between pool and snooker to give hybrid owners the best experience at home and on the go with locked 60 frames per second. Enjoy a single-player career or take up online with crossplay support across Switch or Steam to tackle those global leaderboards. Cathedral features a large interconnected 2D world containing over 600 handcrafted explorable rooms. Each area in the sprawling world is designed to be distinct and offers a unique challenge with tough enemies and menacing bosses, with some puzzles sprinkled on the side for good measure. Atooi Games is bringing Hatch Tales to the Switch next year. Hop, peck, and grapple your way across a myriad of perplexing platforming levels full of enemies, puzzles, and power-ups. When you're done, take on Holy's Nightmare, a new adventure ready to test your reflexes even more. As humanity thrived, people committed more sins in the punitive facilities and hell were overcrowded in the blink of an eye. Hell Sports offers various mini-games to reform sinners in several forms that you can tackle either alone or with up to 4 players in a frenzy to reach first place and dish out the most punishment. 1974 Feline Revolution is a sandbox slapstick puzzler about the life of a carefree cat living in the streets of Lisbon, completely unaware of the revolution happening around him in 1974, as he follows his simple life of mischief and bad behavior on the oppressed population. Set in the 20th century England, the maid of a manor has dreams that foretell the death of the people around her. As the manor buzzes with talk of inheritance and death, a tragic horror mystery begins to unfold where you explore the mansion to use reasoning as you collect clues and come to a decision. The year is 2476, and Earth Defense Force has been building moon bases across the galaxy. One of them is sending distress signals, and the space grunts are tasked to investigate it. Discover secrets, consume to your heart's desire, and use every weapon in your arsenal to get to the bottom of the space mystery. The remake of Mad Father is planned for the Switch this October. This exploration-based horror adventure game lets you play as Aya, while she explores a sprawling manor using whatever item she can get her hands on to survive the night, offering multiple endings and tons of replayability options. After crashing your spaceship on an unknown planet, can you survive and find a way off in Residual? The survival platformer offers crafting, light puzzle solving, and tons of exploration where your guns are the ends to many encounters where your life will be in peril. Focusing on exploration and non-violent content, follow the historic path of a cunning queen of the Angola Kingdom in the 17th century, while she helps her people resist the European explorers and create diplomatic solutions for each challenge in Jenga the Diplomatic Warrior. Munbury is a remote and peaceful town isolated for modern advances. One day, the Medical Association sends one of the most accomplished chemists to help cure the major's daughter, so he starts with gathering ingredients, making salves, potions, and checking on his surroundings to be able to make the most sought-after cure. And that's what the Game Announcers will be covering this week. Tokyo Game Show is finally behind us, and there were some amazing presentations, not just for the Switch, but for the upcoming next-gen consoles, giving Japanese game fans tons of new hope on what these developers will be able to do with the newfound powers of these rather pricey consoles. So with all that said, as per always, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate the support, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. See ya!